Okay, all right. Hello, everyone. I'm Kalinana, uh, doing another tier list video. This one is a bit of a silly one, but you'll see how it goes in a little bit. So this is a tier list on what Genshin Impact playable characters can beat a Tyrannosaurus Rex in a fight. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Either you're thinking Dinosaur Supremacy, the T-Rex eats everyone, or you're thinking Genshin Impact Supremacy, the T-Rex gets one shot. We will see. We will see, indeed. And today I'm joined by three friends of mine, Spooky, Varheel, and Demon Hunter. If you guys want to say hello, introduce yourself.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Hello, I'm Bar.
I love how you didn't say your names. That's not funny.
Oh, howdy.
Okay.
My name's Demon Hunter. Nice to meet you.
I'm Spooky.
Okay, that aside, as you can see here, we have our little tier list. Disclaimer, we're not going to be ranking Durin or Yehoda or Aloy because Durin and Yehoda at the time of this recording aren't playable yet, and Aloy is from another game. I don't want to deal with that. Anyway, we have our little tier list here with all the tiers. You can read them and probably see what it all means. I don't really think I need to explain it. And let me see. Okay, now we can get into the rules and specifications. So this is going to be a one-on-one fight between the T.rex and a Genshin Impact character, all of them. Not all at once, just, again, one-on-one. The specifications of the fight are the arena is a large forest clearing. Basically, think about forest with like a large patch, like a bare patch, like in the middle. The T-Rex and the Genshin character will start around 20 meters away from each other at opposite ends. The T-Rex is bloodlusted, which means it will not retreat, which means it will keep trucking on until it either dies or it kills the Genshin character, which means the Genshin character also must kill the T-Rex to win. I will make a few exceptions that you will see maybe later down the line. You'll see. But the T-Rex is bloodlusted because in real life, a Tyrannosaurus will usually not fight to the death with other T-Rexes because they're smart and won't try to kill each other unless they really want to. Speaking of which, we need to go over what Tyrannosaurus specimen, I guess, we're gonna throw into the arena. So the T-Rex we're going to be using is an adult male with a length of around 12-ish meters or about 40 feet long, a height of a little bit less than 4 meters or about 13 or so feet, and a weight of 11 tons. It's on the larger end, a little bit larger than, say, a specimen like Sue or Scotty. Maybe around the same size as Cope, a little less than Goliath, but it's much bigger than your average T-Rex. And yeah, you guys have anything to say?
You used a lot of meters there, and I hate to tell you, but it's somebody who
It's America, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, wait, hold on. Meters? Wait, who is this guy? You think I'm going to do conversions in my head? That's a lot of brain power. But
to be fair, I did also give measurements in feet, like around 40-ish feet and long and 13 feet tall. I did say that.
20 meters,
I must
20
miss that.
meters away. 20 meters away is about, I don't know.
Was the weight in metric tons or American tons?
True.
Yeah, because those are different tons, bro. Like it matters.
It matters a ton.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. yes, it is. U.S. tons, I believe. Because
disclaimer.
I don't believe
T-Rex
got more than like 13 tons, like on higher estimates. So yeah.
Quick disclaimer from me: I don't know anything about this stuff, so if I just guess, there you go. I don't know anything about measurements, so I wouldn't know.
That should
So
be fine.
That should
You
be
see-
fine, yeah.
You said 20 meters, so I'm assuming that's about 40-ish feet away from each other?
A little more than just 40 feet.
Okay, I was about to say, because 40 feet would be a little fucking dangerous.
It's more like 65-ish feet, I think.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
I'm trying to visualize that in my head. Imagine me laying on the street a couple of times. Okay, that's it. Okay, I had to visualize it. Okay, I get it.
Okay. Now, before we start, I would like to give some silly, well, not really silly, but facts about the Tyrannosaurus and what makes it so threatening. So, one, a Tyrannosaurus has padded feet similar to an elephant, which means that its footsteps are completely silent. You would not hear him coming. He would sneak up on you and eat you. This is why they know, both the T-Rex and the Genshin character know that the other is there right off the bat. Otherwise, the T-Rex could have an unfair advantage and just sneak up on whoever and just eat them like right out of the gate.
Right, T-Rex blitzes without
Yes.
prior knowledge.
Yep. T-Rex also has binocular vision, can see you from miles away. It has better eyesight than an eagle. It can spot you from like 3 miles away. So that's always very nice. It also has front-facing eyes, so it knows you're there. A T-Rex
Thank
also
God.
has. Yeah,
Thank God.
yeah,
Thank God they're no longer around.
yeah. Man, we would all be cooked if they were still alive. T-Rex also has a shocking amount of agility. T-Rexes aren't like that fast when like moving in a straight line. I believe the current estimates for top speed are like around 15 miles per hour. However, they are very agile. They can like spin around on like 1 foot, like in like less than a second. They can just turn around and just smack you into non-existence. Speaking of smacking people into non-existence, the bite force of a Tyrannosaurus goes up to, I believe, around 12,000-ish pounds. So if you got caught between the jaws, you would die. It's enough to crush a car. I think that's all you really need to know. And last thing, a T-Rex is really, really, really durable. They can survive things like their tails being bitten off, function completely fine with multiple broken ribs. And just to put things in perspective, we have found a T-Rex fossil with its brain case like bitten through. Like a T-Rex basically got the equivalent of a lobotomy and was like, just another Tuesday. So there you go. There's some T-Rex facts, and that just goes to show how kind of scary these things are. And like what Dean Hunter said, we are all very lucky that they are no longer alive.
Indeed.
Yeah, because most of these Genshin characters are absolutely fucked. There's no way they'll survive.
Some of them, yeah, I would actually agree with that. Well, we'll get to that. That's kind of why we're doing the whole thing. Anyway,
Yes.
one more thing before we start. A few factors we need to consider is, would normal weapons, right? The weapon, like normal as in not catalysts, but like normal weapons like swords, polearms, bows, and claymores that the characters use, how effective would that be, right? With, physical damage. And speaking of damage types, how effective would each elemental type, which is Pyro, Cryo, Hydro, Electro, Dendro, Onimo, and Geo, how would that do against a T-Rex? Because this is all very speculative. Like, we don't know how, a T-Rex would react to getting splashed in the face with, I don't know,
Water.
elemental water. We'll see. And then, lastly, how quote-unquote strong do we consider each character to be? Because there's a mix of both gameplay, as in their skills, bursts, how they function as a character, and their lore. which would mean how strong are they in the wider scheme of the Genshin Impact universe. Those are all things we're going to think about and like compare to, a T.rex, All right. With that out of the way, we get started unless any of us want to say anything else.
Are we gonna do both travelers together? Like, is there any difference between them outside of
I
visual?
would say one of them be the traveler and the other be the sibling.
Okay.
Just even though sibling isn't technically quote unquote playable. I mean, actually, we can probably put in here, like if you guys don't really want to do travelers, basically.
I
What do you guys
mean,
say?
I would just do them together as the traveler.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes
You
sense.
don't really know as much about the sibling.
That is true. Okay. All right. Anything else that we need to clarify, think about before we get started?
I feel they're not as powerful compared to all the other characters, so they probably wouldn't stand a chance that will, to be totally honest.
We'll get to that in a bit. Yeah. Just anything else we need to think about before we get started for real,
Not. Okay. So when you say you're talking about general weapons, right? So you're not talking about like the weapon that would be on that hero's banner.
Yes, like their weapon type, right? Because
Right. Okay.
most of the characters have their signature weapon. We're technically not talking about that weapon in of itself, but rather the weapon type. Like
So
Xiao,
the
he has
sword
his weapon is a primordial jade wing spear. However, his weapon type is the pole arm, so we're talking about pole arms. How would those do?
Right.
Yeah.
All right. That was pretty much everything for me.
Great. Anything else before we get started?
Let's go.
All right. Okay, let's get into it. All right. The Traveler.
Their kits are garbage. Yes, they have a sword. Cool. Kits are garbage. Low diff, eaten instantly.
Yeah,
Fair enough. I mean, okay, well, okay. Let me think about this from a lore perspective as well. When you think about it, the Traveler can use like every element, right? So that's one key like thing in their favor. And since they are the main character, they've scuffled with the higher tier characters, non-playable and playable, like Tartaglia and Arlecchino. However, I don't know.
Like
how
I feel like lore-wise,
how would the Traveler like approach
because
this fight?
like
Because a T.rex barreling at them,
exactly.
maybe they could dodge, but like I don't know. Again, T.rex is really agile. If it dodges out of the way, you could just quickly like spin around, like shift its footing, and try to like go for a bite. I'm not sure.
My thing is like lore-wise, the Traveler is strong, quote unquote, for the sake of the story. But like when you look at like even though they have like multiple elements, when you look at their actual kit, like one of like
Kinda
for water,
doo-doo.
yeah, when you look at water, she just shoots out fucking bubbles and then like a little dart of water, and it's just like
Yeah.
and
Like,
an animal is just like a fucking a little mini tornado, and then she throws a mini tornado as her fucking animal ult at the fucking T.rex. She's just gonna be like, "Oh, nice!" Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, I don't really see any part of the kit. Like, even if she's strong for Genshin standards, I don't see any part of the kit like doing anything. The only thing I can think about is I think the Traveler is kind of agile, so. But then the thing is, again, a small sword. Like what? Like what can really be done? You know what I mean? So I don't know.
that is a very good point. I would also, speaking of the Hydro Traveler, what's really funny is that the Hydro Traveler is so bad, like in game, that there's literally no reason to use her like at all. You get Barbara for free, and she's better than the Hydro Traveler. So there's literally zero reason to use the Hydro Traveler. That aside, what are we thinking? Minimal
They would get
chance?
eaten. They would get eaten instantly.
You
Their
think
weapons are
so?
just, yeah, their weapons are just not strong enough, I think.
I wouldn't say they would get eaten instantly, but
So something we haven't mentioned yet is that some of the canonical enemies in the game are like these giant metal constructs.
You know,
Are those like as big as a T-Rex, do you
you
think?
know, Var, that is a
Yeah,
good
that
ass.
actually makes sense.
yes,
That's
that is
a,
very true.
because
That makes
there's
sense.
in was it Leeway? At the end of like you have to fight this big ass fucking I forgot what it was, but as the traveler you have to kind of fight that big that big ass fucking so you know what, that's actually a good point. I wasn't thinking about that. That's man, it's hard because like when you think about how you actually play as the character, it feels weak. But then when you think about the lore behind the character, now that you mention that, that makes total fucking sense, and that kind of makes me rethink my answer. Just because of the lore and what I know what you have to fight in that boss battle, I'm gonna say it could go either way. But if it's purely based off of the kit and like actual playability, I would say it gets eaten instantly.
The more I think about it, I would put them in could go either way. Because again, I don't really think the Traveler has very many quote unquote like solo wins, right? Against certain
Right.
um, yeah, I would put them in could go either way because there comes a point where it's like how quote unquote strong is the Traveler and would they get immediately eaten? Probably not. Would they be able to win? That becomes a dubious question. So I
Right.
would put it in could go either way, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So where do you put them, Var?
Probably same. Could go either way. Because
All right.
I mean,
Yep.
yeah, they're like I consider them one of the weaker characters, but not the weakest.
There are definitely weaker characters. All right. Okay. Jean.
Let me look up her kit real quick while we're talking about this. I remember very vaguely. So let me just Jean.
Jean.
I know Jean can do
Grandmaster,
healing, right?
acting Grandmaster of Knights. Yes, her burst is a big like dandelion field with like wind and it heals.
Why is Jean not showing up on here? That's weird.
How do you spell her name? Is it spelled with a G or a J, or how's it spelled?
J. Jean.
That's why I'm thinking it's spelled with a fucking G. Me being a dumbass. Okay. Jean.
She
Oh,
uses
she's
sword and she's an Animo character.
I could have sworn I remembered her as Ice. That's actually sad.
Kind of
Okay.
think all the Anemo characters are just gonna do terribly.
Yeah, same.
She has the slight
What?
advantage of being able to heal at least.
Yeah.
That is true. But like, what are you gonna be doing when the giant car crushing jaws come down and you're not really gonna be in a very good place after that if you do survive.
Yeah, she's screwed.
I'm looking at her kit. It shows from what it's saying, she has the ability to launch opponents and stuff like that. But like an opponent versus a 13-ton big ass fucking reptile is two different things. So at that point, it's kind of just like throwing a spitball at the chest of a T-Rex, and it's like, no.
Also, mind you, Jean cannot launch like larger opponents. Like she can launch like things like hilichurls, human type enemies. can like carry them and like launch them into water for an instant KO. It's actually a pretty fun way to instantly kill things because most enemies can't swim, so they just drown. However, that's not really gonna help against a giant 11-ton murderous T-Rex.
Yeah, so
So
I think she just gets eaten instantly, like very very little to basically like no diff at all. Like just she's
yeah,
gonna eat shit out. Like I feel like her kit and like her existence is completely based off of Genshin and her being a supporting character in a squad. Like outside of that, she's virtually useless in any like real life situation versus like a fucking T-Rex. Like that just
very
Yeah, I
true.
agree.
All right. Are we putting her in gets eaten instantly then?
I would
Yes.
put her at minimal chance, but that's just me.
I actually agree with you. I actually think she would go in minimal chance. I don't think she gets like immediately eaten because again, the nature of her like skill where she does the whole blows things away. I feel like that might be enough to like make the T-Rex like stop for like a little bit. And when I mean little bit, I mean like a second or so. Maybe enough for her to get out of the way of getting like bitten immediately. But like, yeah, I don't see her winning like in like any situation. I would put her in minimal chance personally.
already.
Lisa,
I mean, look at her kit. I mean, it's.
she is an electro catalyst.
I mean, okay. From the game, do we remember her as having any type of like agility at all, or?
From what I can remember, since I played as her character a few times, she's not really that good. Unless it really depends on how well she's upgraded and how well her power ups, I guess, are done. But from what I've gathered, she's not really the best. She might be able to do some damage, but I don't think she would fare too well, to be honest with you.
I would argue that most catalyst characters would do quote unquote better in most situations due to the fact that they basically just blast things with elemental energy and don't really have a real like physical weapon.
Right.
I was thinking the same thing.
I would say, but then you
I
also
don't.
have to think they have to have the agility to be able to keep distance. So it's
I
like,
agree. I don't particularly think she can keep herself
yeah,
away from the T-Rex before getting eaten. Her skill basically just launches like electric damage orbs, like electro damage orbs at opponents. I don't feel like that's going to be doing all that much to a T-Rex.
yeah, because it's like it depends on the voltage of the electric charge. I feel like if it's not enough to kill somebody in Genshin, like a human or one of those monsters in Genshin, then when you scale up the monster and the amount of flesh that electricity has to go through, it's probably not even real. It's more so just an annoyance to me in my head, the T-Rex. So it's like,
Yeah, I don't. I feel like it would do quote unquote would do damage, but it wouldn't really deter the T-Rex all that much.
Hold on just a
I'm-
second. Doesn't the dodge give you iframes? Or does it just move you quickly?
Like sprinting in the combat,
Yeah. Does it give you like invincibility frames? And would that
it
happen?
doesn't. It does not. The only character it gives iframes for is I know Hu Chao is one of them because her dash is special because she can phase through opponents.
Yeah.
But outside of that, there's like only like a few other characters with like special dash, like Mona and Ayaka. They turn into their respective elements. So
Okay.
sprinting doesn't give iframes unless you're
So
Hujao, basically.
yeah. So then you can't
Or
just
Ayaka or Mona,
dodge
yeah.
most
If
attacks.
you have a
'cause-
special dash, you can, but
yeah. Seems like the T-Rex's tail is so big that he can just like swipe you and you can't jump out of the way far enough.
And it's like lore wise, I don't remember us seeing Lisa do any sort of like running or like wall running or like
That's
jumping
because she's
over shit.
lazy.
Yeah, so like I just
Yes.
I kind of feel like
So,
she's
like-
almost in the same spot that Jean is. It's like almost like
I would agree.
she does damage, but she's like a support-ish, like built off of a team type situation. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, she's an off-field DPS character or an applier.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would put her in minimal chance, but yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I'd say minimal.
Yeah.
All right, Amber.
S
We all
tier,
know
S
who
tier,
she is.
absolutely fucking S tier, S tier.
Let me just. No, I'm just kidding.
My second waifu deserves S tier.
True.
Okay,
Yeah,
first of all, she her power ups and stuff. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it really lasting that long because she needs distance in order to actually do anything. And from
That
what
is
you get, from what you gathered, the T.rex is basically it can see from miles away. So yeah, she's pretty much screwed. Unless by some miracle she can like shoot multiple arrows and like have like a rating of fiery arrows coming down from the sky. Maybe. But besides that, I can't really see her doing that well.
Yeah,
From like a
okay.
marksman's perspective, I can't see her really doing that well.
Yeah, I don't think her burst would do all that much.
I'm looking at her kit,
Well,
and I go ahead, Dwar. Sorry.
do you think she would be successful at distracting the T-Rex with her puppet?
Money,
Yeah.
Coco for
I would say no. The reason why is because T-Rex is smarter than you might think.
yes.
It is really, like incredibly intelligent enough to strategize and like cooperate with other T-Rexes to effectively bring down prey. It would maybe like look at their money dancing and be like, huh, that's kind of weird before just going after Amber again.
How fast can she run and how far can she jump?
I think she's more agile than a lot of the other characters we
She's
mentioned.
definitely more. Yeah, it's true. She's definitely more
Yeah.
agile and mobile than most other characters.
The problem,
but
yeah,
again,
it's like
her problem is she doesn't have like a real good way of actually doing anything to the T-Rex. She can
My thing
run
is-
around and dodge for
right?
a while, maybe, but like I don't think
doesn't
she would
seem
be
to
able to get a good
DPS.
shot on the T-Rex.
Yeah,
you said an
that's
open clearing in the forest, right? Like a wide open clearing, and like how much would she have to run to where she can actually get to the forest part of the forest, like
Good
where there's
question.
trees like that and forage and shit.
And are they
Um,
allowed to go in between the trees, or do they have to stay in the clearing?
That's a good question, actually. I hadn't thought about that because I'll allow them to go into the trees and stuff, but I don't think it'll make that much of a difference because one, the T-Rex can also smell them from like a while away. Again, the eyesight is really good, easily able to detect like sudden movements and like pinpoint where its target is. The landscape that T-Rex lived in is also like pretty foresty and stuff. So again, it's not really. If anything, going to the forest would be more of like a delaying tactic. Like you get killed less fast, basically.
Okay, so here's my mindset, right? From the lore of the game, we know Amber is like one of the more fast, agile characters. Just like she just runs around, and she's what's even crazier is the fact that she uses a bow, so it kind of works in her favor. She's good at getting vantage points. She's good at running. She's very agile. She also has the ability to wind glide because she's the one who teaches you how to wind glide.
Yes.
I'd say agility wise, she has it. It depends on how fast she can get to the forest. Even if her little bunny distracts the T-Rex for a little bit of time and that gives her enough time to get to the forest, I think she has at least a 45% chance of winning because she has flame arrows. Once she gets into the forest, all it takes is 1, 2, 3 charged up little, arrows, and then the forest is on fire. And the T-Rex has two choices. Do I stay and because I'm bloodlusted, I chase after Amber, and probably die in the process or directly after killing her, or do I just leave her alone? And part of me thinks just because of I don't know, Amber just she gives me like Hunter vibes, you know what I mean? So it's like
That is true.
given the
Yeah.
predicament, I do think she actually has a decent chance to do something. Probably not win, but I would say it could go either way.
Yeah, compared to Jean and Lisa, I think she would probably do a little better than them.
Find myself being convinced. Yeah, I don't personally. I don't think she would be able to win in like 99% of situations. Again, because of the T-Rex being smart enough and equipped to
Right.
deal with a lot of things. However, I do think she would legitimately probably survive longer than Jean or Lisa. So just because of that, I think we can. Well, should we actually add another tier? Because could go either way very specifically means that there's like a 50-50 split between
Yeah, maybe another
things.
tier
So
that says
I would put another tier like
Low
Yeah.
chance.
Sure.
survives
best girl.
pretty long or something like
Yeah.
that.
Best girl. It's not up for debate. She is the best girl of Genshin Impact.
But okay, here's the caveat. You guys might hate me for this. I genuinely think she has a 50% chance to win though. And I let me explain why. I think once okay, so the fact that she's a part of that whole army and that squad and she teaches you all these things, she has the agility, she has a kid. I don't think her kid I think she's more like I run to the forest and I have pyro damage. It doesn't matter if my arrows are weak. I can set this forest on fire and I can keep away and I can steer you in certain directions using fire and fuck you over. So it's like that's why I feel like it's a 50-50 chance. The thing is if she doesn't get to the forest or if the T-Rex gets to her before she can put her flame arrows down and start a brush fire, that's when it becomes an issue. So it's like
Yeah, I agree.
it really just depends on how quick she can get to the forest, get a vantage point, see where she has dry brush or something on the ground where she can create a brush fire, and if she can use that quick enough and it catches quick enough to steer and lock in the T-Rex. Because once they get to the forest, I mean, like the fire just spreads like wildfire. So it's like,
to be fair,
I don't
she
know.
would also need to deal with the fire because even though she's a pirate
Yeah.
character, she's not fireproof.
Right.
And again, the T-Rex
So she probably
will be
died
smart
right
enough
after.
not to just bum rush into the fire, even though it is bloodlusted and will not stop until it eats Amber. He would not like be stupid enough to just bum rush into the fire and get set on fire. He would be smart enough to wait out like the situation, figure out like. Not saying that the T-Rex is as smart. It's nowhere near as smart as Amber, but smart enough to know at least. So again,
Right.
there is a reason why we did make this new tier. So
I'm gonna go. Okay, Noelle's the next one, right?
yes.
Okay.
Oh,
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
I genuinely didn't think she was gonna have a chance, but when I sat down, looked at her kit, and then I thought about it, and then the fact that we also started talking about lore, because like playability and then like lore of like cutscenes of them in the game makes a complete difference,
Yes, it does.
especially for her.
All right, now we're on to Noelle.
I'm going to be totally honest before you even start. I don't know half of these characters, so I'm going to just let you guys roll with it. So
No problem. Okay,
sit back and
Noelle is
Here's the
actually
thing.
pretty strong, but she just doesn't do much damage.
That is true. Here's the thing. How do we quantify shields? Because several characters make shields,
So
How would
my
that
thing is,
be quantified?
The,
Would a
uh,
T-Rex,
the
if the
shield
T-Rex
is like
spit down,
big
would it
hit.
just go through the shield, or would the shield actually like stop the T-Rex from,
so
biting
I think this
down
is
and
where we have
eating
to
the
go to
person?
lore. Like, do we have any lore of the strongest characters in the game that Noelle fights against, like in cutscenes
Not,
or anything like that?
no, not really. We do know that through lore. I believe Noelle is like freakishly like strong physically, but outside of that, there's like really not
Okay.
anything for her. That's why she's able to, swing the claymore around like really easily.
But so that confuses me because when she swings her claymore, she looks kind of like off balance and like she's just kind of barely holding on to it. But like you're also telling me that she's super strong. So like, okay, if we go with the fact that she's super strong, she can actually wield the claymore decently, right? Even if we take away geo damage, just because of how big and heavy that fucking sword is, I'm gonna say could go either way. If we also count the fact that she has a shield. Do I think the shield is going to do anything? No. Do I think geo damage realistically matters in this case? I don't know how her popping a geo shield would do geo damage, but I'm just going based off of what you told me about like strength and the fact that she uses a claymore. I would say it could go either way. Like in a surprise, like upset type way, not in a like, oh, she's definitely going to have a 50% chance. But like there's a possibility she genuinely just like, I don't know.
I feel like
some crazy
most
shit.
claymore characters at best, ignoring things like lore and stuff, at best would be akin to getting hit by like a triceratops horn.
Right.
And because of that, I don't think she can necessarily land a killing blow. I do think she does at least have some kind of chance, though.
What if she puts on her shield and climbs up the back of the T-Rex and stabs it in the face?
Like on some Monster Hunter shit. There's like
Yeah.
some fucking God of War shit.
I mean, the tears would just, fling her off, but,
I know, like, based on how Noelle plays in the actual game, oftentimes you can just keep her shielded and just whittle away your enemy's health. And it just takes a long, long time.
Right.
But like she's
that's why
able to
it's like,
heal herself a little bit also.
right. That's why it's like his question, Akaze's question earlier, kind of it comes back to like it really comes down to how fucking strong is the Geo character shields, how strong are shields in general, like because that really matters. You know what I mean? Like
I think a big problem with the shield as well is while it might mitigate like flat like damage, what is it going to do when the T-Rex just bowls her over? Because again, it's a literal 11-ton giant reptile like charging at you and just swiping you with its head. Like that's gonna like launch you like across the clearing.
So
Assuming
I
it doesn't
think
bite you.
yeah. I think it would launch you, but I think she would remain unharmed by the hit.
in the
The
shield,
problem
it was
is
just like
eventually the shield would run out and then there's a
True.
cooldown on
exactly.
it. So you're very vulnerable in between the cooldowns.
Yeah.
So what's the consensus here then? Because I'm kind of torn.
I think she'd probably do at least as well as Amber.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking.
I would agree. I don't, again, because I feel like she has enough things in her kit to surprise the T-Rex. Like, give it a challenge. Like she can do. I feel like she has a good shot at surviving for pretty long. Actually, bringing the T-Rex down is a very, very arduous task that I don't think she would be able to do most of the time. However, that does not mean that she would just get eaten instantly. She would put up a pretty good fight, I would say.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So I would put her in survives longer than usual. I mean, maybe we can rename the tier to like puts up a good fight or something. How does that sound?
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Barbara, she dies.
Yeah, I don't
She
even
gets
have
eaten
to
instantly.
from what
Like,
from what I
we don't
remember.
even need to like. There's no debate. She just gets eaten.
Mhm.
like
Like
from what I
despite all her
remember,
healing, that's only useful if she can survive getting chomped.
Yeah,
like
she's not gonna survive.
all
She's
like
getting eaten.
all she yeah. all she's gonna do is make it rain a little bit, and then it's like, okay, like
Yep. Okay. Sucrose.
is that okay? I gotta look up who this character
She's an
is.
Animo character and a catalyst.
Oh, so off rip, not looking too good already because
So what she does is she makes these like big like what's my call it? Like these big like tornado. Well, not really tornado, like big swirly Anmo things. Her whole kit is designed around making one of those, and then like a different character like uses a different element, and that elemental reaction, swirl, elemental damage. That's her whole kit. This
Yeah.
in a straight fight with it's just her, and I feel like it's not going to do much. Maybe
She
the
needs a
T-Rex will get
teammate.
like knocked off balance a little bit, but
so
Also, she's
okay.
very timid. She'd probably run away.
she would also
Right.
probably get really scared and run away. Yeah.
So like so is it's kind of like with Jean where like her ability to like take away people's balance is dependent on how heavy they are? Like can she not do that with certain heavy characters in the game?
I believe so. Yes, she can't
Okay.
like dagger really heavy
yeah.
enemies.
Low diff. Yeah, very
Yeah,
low diff.
I would put her. Are we putting her in gets eaten instantly?
I don't based off what I saw from her kit, I genuinely don't think she stands it. What you know what? Let me give her a chance. What's her weapon?
Catalyst.
No chance. None. Whatsoever.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking either she gets it instantly or maybe minimal chance, but like, yeah. Fischl.
From what I remember, not looking too good.
She is
for
a
her.
electro character and a bow character, and her whole skill set is summoning her friend Oz to do off-field damage, and that's about it. Much.
She's not nowhere near as agile as Amber, is she?
No.
Forge the dark. Okay, descends upon the land, dealing electro damage. Okay, continuously attack nearby. Okay, to spread his twin. Okay, and defend.
At most,
Maybe
I
Oz
feel like
could distract him a little bit while she runs away and gets some distance, but
yeah, that's at most. She could distract. She could use Oz to distract the T-Rex at least a little bit. But like eventually, again, the cooldown is going to come into effect, and then even if she makes a good enough distance, yeah, she's getting.
So okay, so when you say that the T-Rex is it's naturally in the jungle, like forest-ish type biome,
Yes.
right? How close are the trees together? How far can they see before the trees overlap and it kind of just literally cuts off their vision?
I would say the answer to that is I don't know because, well, there are studies on like the Welly either. They are pretty good. So I would say, well,
Because I'm thinking like if there's a bunch of trees in the forest, right, and somebody's like half a mile in front of them, there's probably so many trees that they have to see through that would be overlapping that they just can't see. But then it also depends on how strong their scent is. You know what I mean? So it's like,
yeah, T-Rex has pretty good smelling capabilities.
because the only thing I'm seeing here is she has the ability to turn into Fischl, from what they're saying, and it
She can turn
greatly
into Oz from her burst.
Yeah, so it's like
She could do pretty okay in like a hit and run. Like
it really depends on how fast she is when she runs. If she like, I don't know. I genuinely don't know for this one, to be honest. Like, it really depends on how fast she is in that form and how long that thing lasts before it goes on cooldown again.
The cooldown is pretty lengthy.
yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, she's
I'm
fucked.
thinking minimal chance just because,
Yeah.
like, just the possibility of a distraction to not get eaten instantly, but very early in the fight.
Like hit and run, yeah, like Mona.
I kind of have a feeling this might, maybe, possibly.
Hydro Catalyst.
Oh God. Let me see.
So she can like turn into water and go into the ground,
Yes.
and that
She
that
has
might
limited stamina though, so
yes.
she gets left vulnerable in certain situations. And that coupled with the fact that I don't think she can reliably, quote unquote, deal damage to the T-Rex. Hmm.
Wait,
Oh.
so she has an ability that puts people in a bubble?
Are you talking about the burst?
Yeah, it says Stellaris Phantasm.
I think that's the burst, yeah, because if I remember correctly, the skill
It doesn't like
is like a
stop him
distraction
from
thing, I
moving.
think. However, the bubble doesn't, it is only like, smaller enemies and not like bigger enemies, so you can't really zap the T-Rex in a bubble.
Okay, so I think that she has a Okay, when you say win, does that also give into the fact that they could possibly get away?
No.
Oh, so they have to actually kill the T-Rex.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, okay. I'd say puts up a good fight. She runs. I think out of everybody, I feel like she has the best chance of running for a while because she also has this ability where she summons a illusory phantom of fate.
Yeah, that's her skill. She can distract things.
So I kind of feel like that would work because it also does damage. It's not just like it's something that just.
That is true, yeah. It would probably annoy the T-Rex enough for her to like get away for at least a little bit.
And she also has like a good movement ability. So I think.
Yeah.
I think. She doesn't put up a good fight because she doesn't actually have a way to harm it, but she's on a very way better than everybody on minimal chance, in my opinion.
That's fair.
He has
It's
a
like
good
she's in this
chance of
weird mid-tier.
escaping the fight.
Yeah, exactly. But if she has to kill it, then she's kind of fucked. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I'll put her in minimal chance, but like with the disclaimer that she does better than everyone so far in that tier. Okay, Kaeya. He is an ice, cryo, and a sword user.
okay, looking at his abilities.
So is Cryo able to immobilize the T-Rex?
Wait, I know this character. Yeah, from what I
Most
recall,
likely not, because when it comes to cryo and immobilizing characters, you need to mix it with hydro to apply frozen.
Yeah.
So
I don't think
I would
really.
say immobilizing the T-Rex is a no-go.
Yeah, he won't survive very long.
Where is
At
the
least I think.
ultimate though?
His ult is like where he summons those like cryo spikes that like swirl around him.
Oh, it's called Glacial Waltz.
I believe.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
So okay, lore wise, how big of icicles can he summon in the game? Or are they
That's
like
pretty debatable. I would say
Yeah.
he's on. Okay. I would say he's at the very least, on par with Diluc, who's again on the next character. And if we go off of that and how strong we know Diluc is, I would say he at least puts up a pretty good fight, because the reason why I say that is I believe he was like fighting Diluc like pretty equally when he didn't have a vision and Diluc did. It was in that fight where he actually got his vision. So if we just go off that, I feel like he could be pretty. He's also smart, so
Yeah, he summons icicles. He has a sword, but so do you think theoretically he can make a icicle that's about the size of a small 2-story building?
That is pretty big.
that would be pretty big. Yeah.
Could he make one and like send it right into the T-Rex's eye?
Yeah, I'm thinking like if he can summon one, or maybe like the size of a one-story building, right? An icicle the
Yeah.
size of a one-story building, while the T-Rex is running recklessly directly towards him, he can just kill it. And I feel like that's kind of like with the cryo characters, they have that advantage because like
He would need to get like he would need to line up very well. And again, a T-Rex is very agile. And because of the good vision and reflexes, Kai would need to like land a pitch perfect like shot. So I feel like I would put him in could go either way because I do think if he does like do that whole something thing and like if he like locks in and gets like perfect shot, he can win.
I think so too. That's why like even though he doesn't have like just the fact that he has that element in his arsenal and then
He
he's
absolutely locks in. I think he can win. So
yeah.
I would put him in could go either way. I would say he's more like a 45% rather than 50, but still close enough.
Sounds good.
What do you guys think?
Sounds
But,
about right.
oh, I'm sorry. I'm in VR chat. I'm trying to change my avatar right now.
Okay, no worries. Okay,
But,
I'll put him.
but yeah, I agree. I don't think he'll survive very long. Given the short amount of time I played as him, I'd never really seen him really as that much of a good character. I think that's just my opinion, though.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Like he isn't great as a playable character, but that's the point. Anyway, going to Diluc. I would also, I would also put him in could go either way.
I think personally,
However,
I think he actually has a slightly higher chance than Kaeya.
I would
Just because
actually agree because one, his
he's
weapon type
crazy
is a claymore,
and he's a claymore. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
he's crazy agile, and his burst, the giant phoenix. I feel like that would like really hurt.
Like I borderline feel like you could almost transplant him into like Monster Hunter, like the
He would
game,
do
and
completely fine.
yeah. So it's like I'd say it could go either way.
Yeah, I'm between could go either way and more likely to win. I'm not sure though.
I would say okay, if I'm being allowed to glaze, then I would say more likely to win, just because of how like comparing him to all the other Claymore characters, the fact that he's that agile with a Claymore and he swings it without looking off balance, like he swings the Claymore like it's a normal sword, like a fucking kitchen knife, and
Yeah,
he's
that
really
is
strong
true.
and he's fast, and he does flame damage. So like theoretically, he could put flame on his sword and then just slice the shit. And like he's so fast, I kind of feel like it would go where he would just run directly at the T-Rex and then like try to slice both Achilles.
He need to like just
And then
start swinging,
yeah. So it's like I
Yeah,
kind
at
of
that
feel
point it would become a question of would the T-Rex survive long enough to land a good bite, or would he be able to like whittle him down enough to take the win?
Diluc glaze.
Yeah, I'm okay with putting him in more likely to win.
What do you think, Far?
That sounds good.
Okay. We have our
He's basically Batman, so it's like
He is literally Batman. Yeah, he's just Batman, but Genshin Impact. Okay. Razor.
from what I remember, he definitely fought a giant ice wolf, not by himself technically, but based off of lore, theoretically, he should do at least half decent. Probably
I
not
would
great.
also say he does at least half decent as well.
I
He's
gotta look at his
pretty
stats.
agile, isn't he? And he has like
Yeah, he's pretty. Yeah, he's like a wolf, but like a human, because he was
Yeah.
raised by wolves.
he might be able to better predict the movements of another animal.
Yes, I agree. I would put him in at least puts up a good fight. I could see an argument for him going 50-50 or like 45-65. 55 and 45, 55. Yeah, I can see him going into that.
I would say it could go either way based off his talents that I just read.
Yeah.
His talents aren't amazing, but like his ult kind of seems like it would be pretty good. And then like again the lore, so it's like
Yeah, I agree with like he can like I think he can like do the same vein as Diluc, like just rushing and start slashing and see how that goes.
indeed.
So, yeah. Bennett.
I've heard this name a lot. Definitely don't know much about him, so let me look him up a bit. He's pyro. That's good.
The
kind
pyro
of.
sword.
Sword. Yikes. Okay. let me.
Okay, well, if we go by lore, part of his lore is that he is extremely unlucky.
Yep.
Would that translate to him immediately getting eaten? Is the question.
Possibly.
And my answer to that is possibly, yeah. He might get. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
On the other hand, though, he's like regarded as one of the best, like most useful characters
Or
because
yeah,
he's
he's a
useful
very,
in a lot of
very
parties.
strong support, yeah.
But by himself, I don't know.
Yeah, by himself, he's not probably
So,
gonna
like,
be doing all that great.
one of his abilities says that he can put flame on his sword, and it depends based off of how fired up he is.
Yes,
So,
he can like charge his skill and like he like knocks himself back from the explosion if he does it like for too long.
so okay, so then it's not. So when it says depending on how fired up he is, that doesn't determine how big and how like fucking destructive the sword is. It literally just depends on how long he can hold the sword.
Up to a certain point.
Yeah, up to a certain point, because if he goes past the threshold, yeah, it'll just explode and he gets knocked back.
Yikes. I'm gonna say minimal chance. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Mainly
Yeah.
because of the bad luck thing.
Yeah. Well, at least we're out of Mondstadt for now. Ningguang.
Who? Sorry.
Ningguang, the
Ningguang.
Geo Catalyst. Her skill is that giant like screen shield thing that he puts up.
So would that stop the T.rex from running through it?
I would say no. I feel like the T.rex would just barge through and not really care.
I guess it says it only blocks projectiles.
That too. So in theory, the T-Rex might just run through it like it's not even there, you know?
So okay, so it says that if she uses Jade Screen on top of her Star Shatter, it gives extra gems. And when it says gems, it depends. What gems does she use when she uses that ability? When she shoots the gems?
Don't those come from her normal attacks?
So
Are they like emeralds? Are they rubies? Are they diamonds? Are they like sapphires? Like
I'm thinking
like,
they're like magically summoned.
yeah, because she's a Geo character, they're like magically summon like crystals and rocks and stuff. Because
so then would you say that they have a higher hardness mobile scale than a diamond or no?
So
I would say no, because more often than not, like geotechs will just shatter like things. Like that's part of like the elemental reaction, just things shattering.
So then okay, so then that means
no, I would say no. Yeah.
So then her gems aren't as strong as a diamond, theoretically, under pressure.
well,
Most
I
likely
just pulled
not.
her out in game and like started breaking rocks with her attacks. So that has me thinking she can do this from a distance. Like, Claymore users can also break rocks, but she can do this from a distance and do it like as the T-Rex is charging. So she'd at least be able to do some damage before it
Okay.
reaches
That is
her.
true. I would agree.
My thing is like, okay, I was gonna say if they were magically charged and her gems were theoretically even remotely close to the hardness of a diamond, she could pop her jade screen to give additional gems, and then she could use her ult Star Shatter, and it says that it sends gems scattering and like hurling all at once towards somebody. That would be stronger than a bullet, theoretically. So, like, in my opinion, it really depends on the hardness of it. That's why I keep asking you guys that. It really depends
Fair
on the
enough.
hardness of the because if they're even remotely like in the like genuine range of like a harder like gemstone, and she sends multiple of them at the T-Rex, that T-Rex is shit out of luck. I'm gonna be honest, like because like it'd be one thing.
I think they are pretty hard.
Yeah, I think she. How long does it take her to pop that ability?
I don't know.
Is it like quick or is it like a really long charge up?
I think it's quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
I'm assuming all of our characters are going into this fight with like their burst and their skills all ready to go.
Yeah.
okay. So then,
I'm going to head out.
already,
No problem.
Talk to you later.
All right. God bless.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
I'm gonna say, okay, I'm gonna say just because when I read that, I was immediately like, nah. If those gemstones are even like legitimately close to like legitimate gemstones that aren't soft like sapphires, but they're closer to diamonds, and she sends a ton of them, and then she adds the jade screen up, which gives like an extra boost to her ult. I think she has. I think she almost, unless the T-Rex moves the fuck out of the way, I kind of feel like she almost has an easy just like one shot. Based off of the way that the skill, I maybe I have to see the skill to make that judgment, but like based off of what I read. Hold on, let me just go on YouTube just to see, make sure I'm not over like just glazing for no reason. Okay. Okay, let me see how this looks. Okay. I changed my my answer. It doesn't look like, it looks like it's more like magical explosive damage more than like, oh, I'm shooting out these fucking rocks at like bullets towards somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't move very fast.
So I would say minimal like minimal to it gets eaten instantly. Then that like that, it was my argument was completely dependent on thinking she was just like sending them out like fucking bullets, but like nah.
Well, they do still break rocks, so I'd put her at puts up a good fight because of that.
Yeah, that's a good argument.
Yeah, I'll put her in. Good fight. All right. Beidou.
Okay. I'm gonna glaze again a little bit, but she is a pirate.
I'm already honestly thinking that she is in at least could go either way. I would actually honestly put her in more likely to win. Actually, I think the more I think about it, actually.
Yeah, because like she's a pirate. She's a pirate. She doesn't have fear. Her element doesn't really matter too much, in my opinion. I don't really think it.
So yeah, she's an electro claymore. So
Yeah, but I think her weapon though, and how good she is at using it, she looks stable. She moves very quick from what I remember. I don't think she's inherently as good as Diluc, but she's like, as far as her ability to use the claymore and like agility, I think she's decent enough to maybe at least go and could go either way.
Is her skill strong enough to block an entire T-Rex attack?
Mm,
It's a good
She holds
question
up
because
the sword and makes a
thinking about
shield.
it, like there's like okay, when if she like pops the skill and like goes into that like defensive stance, there are like two ways that could go. Either she gets like the T-Rex swats her away or just bites down and just eats her, or it actually does block the T-Rex from doing too much.
I feel
Good
like
question.
with a tail swing, there's a 25% chance that she blocks it. With the bite, I like the only thing that I can think of her doing, because I think she's kind of smart, is maybe setting up the claymore in the T-Rex's mouth to be like sharp and like almost like an extra tooth, and then it would just bite down and like pierce from the inside. But then she'd probably also die. So it's like I
Okay. Another thing, do our characters have any of their constellations? Because her
Right.
T1 improves her Stormbreaker skill.
That is true, but like, how does that quote unquote translate over to this fight where the T-Rex? I'm gonna say they're all at everyone is at C0.
That sounds good.
Yikes. I would say she puts up a good fight then, because it's like, but I would say she's like at the very far end of puts up a good fight.
Yeah.
Okay. Marked. Keqing.
Keqing. Electro, she has a sword. Do we have any lore about like her agility, strength feats, things like that?
She's fast. That's about it.
Like crazy
Pretty
fast? Or
she's not like crazy fast, but she's pretty fast, I would say.
she's not like Minato from Naruto fast, like just like
No, no.
Okay, like okay, so she throws a lightning stiletto. So she throws a lightning shoe at somebody. All right. Star Wars sword seems interesting. How strong, or it really depends. How strong are her slices? Her thunderclap slices.
It's a lot at like the same time, like she to burst, right? So that whole.
It's hard to say, honestly.
It is actually pretty hard to say.
It really depends on like how strong those slices are in her ult, but like I don't know. I'd say puts up, just because you said she's fast, puts up a good fight.
Yeah. Bar, do you have an opinion?
Yeah. I was trying to think if she has some kind of trick up her sleeve, but I don't know. Again, puts up a good fight.
All right. Xingling.
Really good in game, but she looks like she's agile, but like in a very like regular person way. Like
a scrappy way.
Like a very like I skipped through the forest and picked berries type of way, and I know how to jump up a cliff just so I don't have to walk around it type way. Not like I'm like battle agile way. You know what I mean? Like it.
Yeah. I don't think she gets eaten instantly. I would put her in minimal chance though.
Yeah, I would. I would put her in
the flame like wheel would be pretty annoying, but I could see that Tears just like again having the advantage of reach could just like loom over her, and then just fight. Yeah. Okay. Chongyun is a Claymore Cryo.
That looks promising. That looks promising already. Any lore for this character?
He's in exorcist in training, like he destroys ghosts and spirits and stuff.
I see. Okay, he strikes the ground with his greatsword, causing a cryo explosion and a circular AoE. So does that mean that he causes spikes?
Yes, it does. He
Are they big
causes
spikes?
spikes and stuff. His burst does have a pretty big spike.
Interesting. Okay, is he agile? Because I'm reading his abilities.
I would say not particularly, no.
Oh yikes! Because like his
Sounds
kit
like-
looks like
He has a pretty good kit.
for the T-Rex. I feel like he does, but it's
Yeah,
like
but
if
at the same time, unless he times it like really well, like he's in the same vein as Kaeya. If he can time it really well, like if he like locks in and it's a pitch perfect burst, he can like win. Again, that is a big maybe. So just because of that, I would put him in at least puts up a good fight or could go either way.
That's what I was thinking. He could probably deal some damage, but like most of these characters, he doesn't have a good way to like get away from the bites.
right and time shit and set it up. If he's not agile enough, then even if he has the greatest kit, if he can't pull it off, it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I will put him in puts up a good fight. Do we have anything?
That sounds right to me.
Xingqiu, he is a hydro sword. I'm gonna be real. I think he gets eaten instantly.
Yeah.
Just based off of the two things you told me, I would immediately say yes as well. I don't even really have to look at the kit.
His kit isn't even. He does like these like big water splashes and stuff. I don't think that T.rex is going to be particularly annoyed even by that. So, yeah. Qiqi.
I think most of the chibi characters are gonna get eaten instantly.
Yeah, that's
They're just so
unfortunate, but
small.
that is just how it is.
I'm gonna say, okay, you guys are gonna hate me for this, but
She's cryo and sword. Yeah.
Cryo Sword, she's also a zombie, right? So like
Yes.
there's that. She's chibi, so she's small, which means she's harder to bite in half.
Well, that just makes her easier to just eat. Because
Yeah,
think of
right.
it this way: a T.rex skull is around as large as like a person. So in theory, like the T.rex should just bite down and just immediately eat her just from that. Like she
How
wouldn't need like it would
how
be a
strong is their
legitimate
stomach?
just straight up one shot.
Do we know how strong their stomach acid is? It's like a really crazy ass question. Like,
The T.rex gets really bad stomach problems from eating a zombie.
okay, so here's my thing. Qiqi staying alive, does it depend on that she still has those seals intact on her? Or are those seals just to stop her from going berserk?
I don't know.
Because I know it has to do with like, I believe it's Chinese folklore where like that's the.
Yes.
So it's like I don't know. Are those seals to keep her from going berserk, or those seals to keep her alive even though she's undead? That is like my first question. If they're just to keep her like calm and not berserk, I picture this. Good.
I believe the ones like on her right now are to keep her alive.
Yikes. Okay, yeah, so that kind of gets rid of the chance. Also, do you think that the T-Rex's stomach acid could dissolve that paper, and how fast?
I think her body would also get dissolved and eaten away at the same time. Because again, she is a zombie. She's not
Right.
like a, you know. So Either way, I don't think she's surviving like at all.
Yeah, I think she's likely to get crushed as soon as she enters the T-Rex's mouth, even though she is
Yeah.
pretty small.
Yeah.
I'm
So I would
okay.
put her in gets eaten. So.
Oh, you guys don't like Qiqi.
I mean, to be fair,
You know what?
lots of
She
people
is a
don't like her
5-star.
because she ruins people's 50-50s. That's like a whole
Yeah.
like thing. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Okay.
I feel so bad
Okay.
putting a little Qiqi character at the
Yeah.
top.
Yes. Okay. Venti. Now, okay. Lore wise, Venti is actually a lot stronger than you might think.
I see. Okay. Lore wise, does he also have the ability to call in the dragon?
I would say you cannot just call the dragon in. However, I believe there was a statement about him being able to, like, since he is the animal archon, right? So he's kind of cracked up.
The thing is, there is definitely a lot of stuff that they talk about, but we don't see like crazy feats from him. That's the thing that's fucking me up, I think. Because like theoretically, you would think that he would be cracked out his mind, even though he's animal, and he would just like low diff the T-Rex, but then you know what I mean? It like we don't see anything crazy. Like the most we see from him in Mondstadt is kind of him just complaining and bitching for you to go get his harp or his
Yeah.
it's like like it's very difficult.
I don't know. Honestly, I'm not sure where to put him because if we like think about it from like a very, very strictly like a lore standpoint, like he like noticed the T-Rex. However, if you go by how it's hit, the T-Rex would be pretty annoyed. But like, I don't think he could actually, really kill the T-Rex unless he had a pretty lucky shot. So I don't know.
Yeah. I think like the best thing he can do for himself is like maybe create a big gust of wind and then glide away. But
Glide
Yeah.
away
I don't know what
and
he
either
can
like
do to the T-Rex.
I think definitively he is like probably one of the characters on here that I know for a fact will be able to get away. But then like when it comes to damage, it's like the only thing I can think of is him making a huge ass gust of wind, going crazy high in the air, floating up there, and then just shooting down wind arrows at the fucking at the T-Rex. But then it's like damage, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I don't know that works. So it's like I don't know. I'd say puts up a good fight, but like realistically, and that hurts because he's supposed to be strong. But
All right. Var, do you have a?
I would have said minimal chance, but you can put him in the other one.
All right. There we go. Sorry, anyone who likes Benji. Anyway, Klee. Okay. I'm going to be real. I think she goes very, very definitively could go either way. The reason why is she has bombs,
Yes.
lots of bombs. I think this is a very, very, very 50-50 chance of if she can throw a bomb into the T-Rex's mouth and blow it up, she wins. If she cannot do that fast enough, she just gets eaten. So it's literally like a coin flip. What happens first? Can she get a bomb in and blow the T-Rex up, or does she get eaten?
There's a decent chance that she could do it.
Yeah, that's the thing. There is a pretty decent chance she can do it, but at the same time, she is a kid, and she would be a snack.
She's likely to get herself eaten. In addition,
so
to
what's her
Yeah.
ult?
Bombs, like lots of bombs.
Does she take a long time to summon those bombs, or they just like appear and then shit goes boom?
No, I think they just appear.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna say because of how far you guys said, they start off from each other, I'm gonna say she's more likely to win because I kind of feel like she'll level the like if she can get away fast enough, she'll probably level the entire either she'll level the entire field or she'll make such a big crater that the T-Rex is gonna have a really fucking hard time digging himself out. And then at that point, it's kind of just like, oh, hey, T-Rex, I'm just gonna toss some more bombs down there. Have a great day. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
I kind of like how they also gave her like a fucking Soviet Russia hat. That's wild.
Yeah, I'm still sticking to the either she gets the bomb off quick enough or just she gets eaten immediately.
I'll say could go either way.
Yeah, me too.
Because she's not agile or anything like that at all, is she?
No, she's a child.
Yeah, she's a child.
All right, Tartaglia, child, or whatever you want to call him. He's a hydro
canonically
bow.
very powerful.
But
right?
yeah, canonically he's very strong. He is a harbinger. He might be the least one, but he is still kind of strong.
Like he puts up a fight against a party of 4 other characters when you fight him. Right?
Yeah, I think so. He has that. He can also use his delusion in tandem with his vision, because in his boss fight, is both hydro and electro.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so it's electro. I thought it was fire.
Well, his vision is hydro. His delusion is electro. He can like use both of them at the same time to do crazy stuff.
So he could actually do an elemental reaction by himself.
Yes, he can actually do an elemental reaction, and that would be electro charged, which is basically just big flat damage.
It's pretty good.
He's really agile, isn't he?
Yes, he is. I would actually argue he goes in mostly easy victory. I think he would need to like put in like at least a little bit of effort to bring the T.rex down, but I definitely think that he could do it.
Maybe this is just glaze. I think that he definitely has a chance, 100%, like more than likely. But I don't think this is just me personally. Specifically talking about a T-Rex, I don't think he has much more of a chance than Diluc, and that's just because I'm glazing right now. But
fair enough.
I don't know, man. Because like it really depends on how much voltage he can get to the T-Rex. Because like even with the elemental reaction, it's like, you know what? No, I'll say mostly easy victory too. Because then if it's ionized water, and then he fucking electrocutes the T-Rex, and it's kind of like, you know.
Yeah, he has a lot of like other attacks besides just the element. Like in and of itself, he can like I think he has like a bunch of like slash attacks he can send. You know, he also has that like big like thing where he like drops a like whale amount of hydro on you. I think in his boss fight. So yeah, I think he would go in mostly easy victory. He's definitely got a best shot out of everyone so far.
I see.
Yeah. Right. Diona.
I think she's getting eaten.
Yeah, I don't know much about her, but just because
she's a hunter. She's a cryo bow. She does have a shield, but again, yeah. She's pretty agile because she is a cat.
Seem very useful.
I'd be willing to give her at maybe minimal chance.
That's fair.
Just because of those things I mentioned, but like, yeah, she's not surviving very long though. Yeah, okay. Okay. Zhongli. So yeah, let me just yeah, okay.
Okay, explain, because I don't have him.
Okay. So one, this
Yeah,
is both a
that
combination of lore
literally.
and his
Yeah.
kit. His lore is he is the effectively the strongest character in the lore because he's in Archon. He fought in like the big Archon war. He won. He backed out of his mind. What is the
Based
T-Rex
off of
doing
that,
when he dropped the giant meteor
right.
on him? Like,
I,
and it
I would say
petrifies too. Like,
Oh,
even
that's
big enemies.
true.
I would
He's
say some of the other archons
yeah.
are like they have stronger feet, but based off of the lore theoretically and what he is kind of like.
Yeah.
I kind of
Based
feel
on
like
pure
him.
lore,
Yeah.
I just
he just
realized his ult
obliterates
is
like
literally a meteor.
he like is zero. He literally no diffs the T-Rex with an actual meteor. So
Yeah. So it's kind of like
yeah,
kind of just shows up and he's like, "Let me give you a little peek into your future, there, bud."
yeah,
Meteor.
pretty much. Meteor. Yeah. All right.
He is the
Moving
one
on.
who canonically killed them in real life.
True, very true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And technically he's Rex Lapis, so it's like he's also a dragon.
He's also a dragon. Correct. All right. Moving on. Xinyan. Wait. Okay, so there's
Xinyan.
Xinyan and Xianyu. Okay, this is Xinyan. Okay. They have very similar names. She's a pyro claymore. Her occupation is she's basically like a punk rocker kind of type of person.
So basically a bard.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
She does have a claymore.
Yeah. She also has a shield.
Will cause explosions. Are the explosions that she causes with her ult similar to the small Soviet chick, or are they
I
of a
love
much?
how you call Klee a small Soviet chick, and the answer is no.
So then, yeah, I'd say she gets low diffed. Honestly, like her kit just seems to be like, oh, I empower other people, and then I have small attacks that kind of just annoy people that are based off of the crowd, and it's like, you know.
Okay. So are we thinking gets eaten instantly or minimal chance?
I'd say gets if she's not like agile either, then yeah, I think she just
Yeah,
gets
she's
eaten.
not really agile with it. So yeah. Okay. Albdeo. He is a Geo sword.
Yikes! Not
His
looking good.
skill is he makes these like platforms. Forget what his burst does. It's been a while. Basically just makes a huge geo explosion, pretty much.
Does he have any shielding?
He does not.
Okay.
How big is this explosion?
It's decently sized. It's not like a massive explosion, but it's pretty okay size.
And you wouldn't say it has the destructive power of Sir Soviet chick there?
Not really, I wouldn't say.
Okay, so yeah, he's not. No.
He does have his like skill, which is like the platforms. Like he could like go up on them. They like raise up. So in theory, he could like place one of that down, like escape before the T-Rex bites him, and then just blast him with his burst.
He might put up a fight.
Yeah, I think he can put up a good fight. I don't think he has enough firepower to win, but yeah. I will put him here. Ganyu.
She's goaded.
True. Because he is a goat.
I don't know. She has to charge up her shots to be able to do any damage, and in that time, she's gonna get
Munched
eaten.
on. Her best shot is in the lore. She choked out a monster by being too fat for it to properly swallow her, so she choked a monster out by being too fat.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So her best bet is choking the T-Rex out by being too fat.
Yeah.
The problem is the T-Rex bites and crushes, so she would just get eaten immediately. She wouldn't really have a chance of, you know.
She
Yeah.
might get eaten instantly, but also kill the T-Rex in the process.
That is a very, very big maybe too at the same time. So yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's spread a bit of silly Genshin lore. So are you thinking of putting her in gets eat instantly or minimal chance?
Um, well, she could also do like her ultimate could do some decent cryo
Yeah, her
damage.
burst
It's just
does like drop
not
like
able to
all
like
those
stop
icicles in the
T-Rex.
AoE. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would put her in minimal chance.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Zhao, he is a Onimo polearm. In lore, he is very, very strong. Like really strong.
Yeah, his kit looks strong. What's his ult though?
His ult, he basically goes into his like Yaksha form and just he can like jump and like do plunge attacks.
I say, I don't know. It depends on how much damage he can do with a pole arm, and if it's bladed at the end. Like I don't know.
Like in lore, he's like stacked, like absolutely stacked.
Okay, so if that's the case, then I'll say it depends on what you mean by stacked. Like, is he?
He's very strong. He's very fast. I feel
Looks
like
like he can like jump
yeah, he
really
can
well.
jump really high and like plunge down. And when like he hits the ground, he like creates like an explosion of like spikes and stuff.
Okay, so so slice attacks wise, right? Between Diluc and Raiden Shogun, where does he lie?
I would argue that he's closer to Raiden Shogun.
Okay, so then
I would put him
mostly
in personally. I would put him in obliterates without question. I don't because he's not on the same tier as Zhongli, but he's
yeah. I mean,
above
if
Luke.
Sounds like he's cooking.
Yeah,
I,
he's not cooking.
Raiden Shogun, so if he's even remotely close, then he just kind of no diffs.
Yeah. Okay. Hu Tao.
Obliterates without question.
Very true.
No,
feel like-
but realistically, she can phase through enemies, like you
Yes,
said.
realistically, I would put her in minimal chance because she can phase through enemies. Like I think she could avoid getting bitten by, sprinting, but eventually she's gonna run out of energy and yeah.
She does decent damage, but she hurts herself in the process.
That is true. She also hurts herself in the process.
Like without a shielder with her, she's pretty squishy.
I think you guys are underestimating Hu Tao. Hu Taotimus Prime. I think what you guys are failing to mention is that she also has the Zoolander face. If she strikes the Zoolander face purely off of aura, the T-Rex has to die. So off of that alone, I'm gonna say mostly easy victory because, I mean,
Or she could just say something silly and steal the T-Rex's heart.
yeah.
True.
But no, if we're being for real, I would say,
Yeah, realistically, she would go in minimal chance.
yeah.
Sorry, Varn. Rosaria.
Okay.
She's in like the same vein as Chongyun. She has a polearm cryo, but she like big spikes and stuff.
How big are the spikes? It really just comes down to that with cryo characters for me.
And
It's
it's
like
true. How big are the spikes? Let's see. Let's see.
well, I'm gonna glaze regardless. So I mean, I'm just waiting to see if there's like any legitimate reason or justification behind my glaze. But like,
They're like I think they're like smaller than Chongyun.
So you don't feel like they're enough to like pierce to vital organs in a T-Rex?
No. I
No.
would say
Okay.
no.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, I'll say puts up a good fight, just because of the fact, like, I mean,
Yeah.
just because of
I
the
would.
simple fact
She's also
a
pretty
god.
agile, I would say. So
So like, I was joking. I don't think that.
I don't think she would do better than Hu Tao. Maybe on the same level.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, I was glazing. Like,
all right. Yanfei. She gives the T-Rex a lesson in the law, and the T-Rex dies.
Dies of boredom.
True. Realistically, she like has like big pyro explosions because she's a pyro catalyst, but aside of that, yeah, I don't think she's gonna live.
Scarlet Seals. What are the Scarlet Seals? Is that like a buff for her, or?
Yes, I think so.
And she's not agile, is she?
No, she's a lawyer.
Okay, yes, I know. She like I'd say gets eaten instantly. Like, yeah, she does flame damage. Would be cool if she can get to the forest, but like, nah.
All right. Eula. She is an ice claymore. Cryo claymore. Right.
The T-Rex
Is she
gives
new?
up because he doesn't want to read the end user license agreement.
Yeah. Yes.
What's her name again? Sorry.
Eula. EULA.
EULA. Cryo, eh? Interesting.
I think
Sharp Frost Switchblade.
you might have to start hard carrying us because this is getting into characters I don't know as well.
Yeah.
Okay. She's pretty strong. I would say she's on like around the same level as like Diluc, but like a little lower. I would put her in. I'd go either way. Her burst has a thing where like it creates like a massive explosion. Yeah, I would put her in. Could go either way personally. So I won't have to start hard carrying you for everyone who's left, pretty much. Okay. Kazuha, he is a Anemo sword. His whole stick is pulling things in and causing elemental reactions. When it's just him,
he gets solo gift.
he gets loaded. I would put him
Yeah,
in minimal
And, like,
chance.
his wind is not strong enough to move the T-Rex, is it?
His wind would not be strong enough to move the T-Rex. No,
It's like his whole kit is dependent on bringing stuff to him, and like that's the last thing you want to do.
that is the absolute last thing you want to do when the 11-ton giant reptile is trying to bite you. So yeah,
Hey T-Rex, you want a little speed boost to get me over here?
yeah. I might actually put him in Get Eaten instantly just because of that.
Yeah, it's like
He's hindering himself. He's like making himself an easier snack for the T-Rex.
He needs other elements present
Yeah,
to
he
do
needs
anything.
other elements to really do anything. Okay, Ayaka. She's a cryo sword. Her burst is like a huge, like spinning, like icicle, like tornado type of thing. That can like hit opponents like multiple times, like in a straight line.
is it like
That in of itself would hurt. She also has a special dash like Mona. It's ice and Xantho instead of water. So she could, stall pretty long. I would put her in puts up a good fight, but I don't think her burst would be enough to actually do anything.
I would agree.
So, Yoni,
Doesn't she use
Yeah.
firecrackers?
she's a pyro bow. Yeah, she uses firecrackers and stuff.
And she's agile, isn't she?
She is decently agile, yeah.
I think she has okay. I think I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt and say it could go either way.
I would say she's like on the same like plane as Amber. They're kind of similar in like, setting things on fire.
Because I'm thinking like
Bursts
depending
are
on
pretty similar.
right. I was thinking like depending on how strong the firecracker is, if she puts one on the arrow and the T-Rex magically opens his mouth, she can put like 2 firecracker arrows in like the roof of his mouth, and then again, depending on the explosive damage, he might die. Maybe. That's a strong
That's a
maybe.
big maybe though. So, yeah. I would put her in puts up a good fight.
Alrighty.
Sayu, little chibi ninja.
She's at least pretty agile, isn't she?
She is pretty agile, yeah.
She can like roll away from it.
Yeah, she can roll away, yeah. I don't think she's gonna do very much lasting damage, but she could roll away, not get eaten as quickly. So yeah, I would put her in
Wait,
minimal chance.
wait, hold on. Isn't she voiced by Lily Pichu?
Yes.
Okay, one thing we're not taking into account here is the cuteness overload factor. Because like
I feel like that would just make her more of an appetizing snack, if anything, to the T-Rex. We're trying to factor that in.
I mean, yeah, I feel bad, but I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Raiden Shogun, like,
Yeah, so
literally,
yeah. Okay.
yeah,
we really don't need to
she
argue about
fought
that.
a
She
giant
blows the T-Rex up.
Little
Actually
island.
notice the T-Rex.
Like, nah, yeah,
Yeah, the T-Rex is absolutely cooking. There's nothing he can do. All right, moving on. That was easy. Kujou Sara. She's an electro bow.
She looks like Raiden Shogun at home.
She's like a skilled general under her command.
Oh yeah, I remember.
I feel like her aim is really good. Like, I feel like she could, in theory, get a shot off fast enough to like hit the T-Rex in the eye at that like close of range, and at like immediate like when the fight starts. I feel like she could pull it off. That's a big maybe though.
But if she misses, then what happens?
Dear
She dies.
answer. She does.
I just realized we're talking about Genshin characters that could win against T-Rexes. This is hilarious.
Yes, this is a silly video. To the question at hand, I would maybe put her in. What's up a good fight? Yeah, the more I think about it, yeah,
I'm thinking like anyone who can deal some damage but doesn't have a way to like either shield themselves or move quickly or like
Kind of.
she is pretty agile, but you know. Yeah. All right, Kokomi. She gets eaten. She's a healer character. The most
she
I
just
can
seems
see
too
her is
gentle
like,
to really hurt a T-Rex.
yeah, you can like float around a little bit and not get eaten as quickly, but like I don't know. Yeah, I would put her in either gets eaten instantly or minimal chance.
Yeah, like what does she even do that deals damage?
Water, because she's a hydro catalyst. There is a technical DPS build for her with Bloom as the elemental reaction, but again, this is just her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Toma. Toma get. He's a pyro polearm. He has a shield. He's not doing great though.
I always confuse him with Tartaglia. It's like
I can see the resemblance.
off-brand.
Crazy. Yeah, I don't think he's surviving. Yeah, I don't think he'll get eaten instantly, but yeah. Itto, Arataki Itto. He does have that big like claymore. He's an Oni, which does mean he does have like a strength advantage compared to other characters. His whole shtick is just he hits really hard. That's about it. So in theory, if he just starts swinging, maybe he could pull something off. However, I don't think he could realistically pull anything off. Really.
I would agree, unless he has like some type of hacks ability.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks cool, like intimidation factor,
cool, yeah.
but like,
yeah, I would put him in. Puts up a good fight. Goro. He is a Bogeo. His whole kit is based around like buffing allies, providing like heals and stuff. When it's just him, yeah, I would put him in minimal chance.
I see.
And she's weird because in lore, I believe she's very, very powerful.
But
I feel
she's
like
kind
I've
of designed
seen
to
her.
buff another cryo unit, right?
Yeah, her kit is designed to be a cryo support. In lore, she's like I think it was a instance where she like froze an entire like tsunami wave, I think. Which is pretty strong, you know.
I see, but like, she doesn't have the ability to freeze a T-Rex, does she?
Unfortunately, I don't think she can just, freeze a T-Rex.
Unless this is something we didn't think about. What if the cryo characters can freeze the bloodstream of the T-Rex?
I would
I
say
was just
no because she
thinking that.
can't, because cryo characters like in game just can't just freeze out of nowhere.
I think that would already be accounted for with the cryo damage.
Yeah. Oh
Like
yeah.
that's what deals damage with cryo, is that it like freezes the insides.
Interesting.
That's just how I think about it.
So if yeah, I mean, yeah.
I mean, she has
Another-
like a little like cryo ghost avatar as well.
Thinking could go either way. I just don't know, like, is she lore powerful or is she like
She is
Practically
she
gameplay
is
powerful?
more powerful. Yeah, I'll put her in. Yeah, could go either way based off more power.
Is she agile at all?
Yes, very,
Very agile. Okay, so
very agile. Yeah.
the theoretical chance that she leads a T-Rex to a big ass river and then makes it jump in and then freezes the river over, that like that's the only thing I can think of that like
Even then, T-Rex is good at swimming and has enough bulk to shake off any like frozen ice around it. But like again, I don't know. Yeah, I'd be fine with putting in. Could go either way.
alrighty.
Yunjin. She's like a dancer. She's a geopolar. Unfortunately, I don't think she survives. I think she gets eaten. So
Yeah.
Yae Miko. She's like, I would say comparable to Raiden Shogun, but like he's in that like ballpark.
Okay, so then she obliterates
She's not because she's not a human. She's a kitsune, and she has like crazy like powers and stuff, like in lore. So
so then she obliterates. I mean,
uh, I would put her in mostly easy victory because in theory, if he gets a little too cocky and tries to have some fun toying with the T-Rex, if he lets her guard down, she would get eaten. However, in most situations, I think she just fries the T-Rex. So yeah.
I see.
Ayaka, he does not have the same like dash ability like Ayaka. However, I believe I think his burst is just he's a hydro sword.
Hmm.
He can leave illusions, so he can distract T-Rex by leaving like copies of himself that just blow up into water, I guess.
But then does he have the ability to actually do damage though?
Really, he has like I think his burst does like water blades that like rain down, I guess. So I don't know.
Hmm.
He has like water slashes and stuff, so it's kind of hard to quantify how much damage that would actually do.
Yeah, hydro just doesn't seem like it would be very effective unless it's like super high pressure and can break
Exactly, like a
Raiden's
pressure,
scales.
like a yeah.
I'm looking at you, Nouvelle. We'll get you to you in a bit, but yeah.
Yeah, Nouvelle is more akin to like those high pressure water streams that they use to cut metal and steel.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, I'll put him in. I don't know actually. Not sure where to put him actually. Between minimal chance and put up good fight. I'm not sure. I'll put him here. Okay. Yelan. He is weird. I don't know what to say. Because she has this thing where she can basically go invisible and like tie a enemy with like water strings and like cause like a big like water explosion.
I see.
Hmm.
When she uses her burst, which is a big like really big like hydro explosion, when she attacks or anyone else attacks, like follow up attack of like hydro damage. So she could
Basically
be
like a hydro Evelyn.
yeah from ZZZ. Yeah, very similar. Yeah.
Interesting.
She's very agile. Um, she has bow. I feel like if she can land like a really lucky shot, she can put the T.rex down. But I don't know. I would put her in could go either way. The more I think about it, because she's very smart, she's very fast. She can avoid getting eaten pretty easily. I would say she can go invisible and not get targeted as easily. She has a lot of stuff that could allow her to like set up for a good shot. She could probably whittle the T-Rex down pretty decently. So yeah, I would put her in could go either way. Shinobu, Kuki Shinobu.
I think minimal chance, to be honest, unless there's some lore that I just don't know about.
Not really. She's like part of Arataki Itto's like gang.
Right. I mean,
Outside of that, though, I'm like, you know,
she's very strategic, very agile, but like she does no damage. Like I don't see anywhere her actually doing damage unless she like gets to the forest quick enough, gets a vantage point, and then puts like really precise kunais and like the T-Rex's eyes. I'd like, but that's like I feel like that's a stretch. So
yeah,
it's
that's there.
I think it's a minimal chance, to be honest.
Okay. Heizou. So he gets eaten instantly. The reason why is he's an Onimo catalyst. The way he fights is he punches and kicks enemies, and when you're doing that against a T-Rex, that's yeah, I'm sure you can see where that goes.
This guy thinks he's fucking Omni Man.
Okay. Minori.
Isn't he strong as hell lore wise?
Not particularly Tainari. He's like smart, like knowledgeable about like the forest and like knowledge because he's from Sumeru. So I feel like he could like not get eaten for a very long time and like continue like snipe the T-Rex. I would say he puts up a good fight. I don't think he can really win, but he does a lot better than you would think, honestly.
I would say the same thing. He seems like he's decently agile. I think if he can get to the forest section, he just because that's his natural like fighting place, I think he can prolong it for a good little bit, but I don't know that he actually has.
Kale, on the other hand, she's like a worse version of Taimari. He would not do well. Dory gets eaten instantly.
Yep.
She
would scream like a maniac.
Yeah, she would scream like a maniac, and then
very strange sounds.
Yeah, her Japanese voice is freaky, I guess. The word. Sino. He has this like state where he's like powered up and stuff, but I don't think would be enough. He's a electro pole arm. Maybe if he like thrusts himself really hard into the T-Rex's mouth, he can maybe like come out the other side. But that like runs the risk of him also getting eaten at the same time, so I would put him in, could go either way, because I think he does have a legitimate shot. Him being able to actually pull it off is a different question entirely. Candace. She's a water like hydro polearm? Yeah, hydro polearm. She has a shield like an actual like shield, not like an elemental shield, she has a shield, like a physical shield. I don't think that's gonna do all that much though.
Yeah, not in this situation.
She's pretty agile. She's like in lore, she like fights off like desert creatures and stuff. But like a giant 11-ton monster with like a skull as big as her and can eat her in one bite. I don't think she's doing like that well. I would be okay with putting her in puts up a good fight just because of like lore things, but outside of that, yeah. Nilu, she is a dancer. She gets eaten instantly. Like
right.
Okay, this is where it gets weird for me because it's like
this is also where it gets weird. So in the beginning, when I said the Genshin character must kill the T-Rex, here's the thing: the T-Rex is not ever going to be able to kill her. Like you would think that the T-Rex could just run up to her and just eat her. The problem is her like mental powers are so like overtuned that there's like she got either like fry the T-Rex's brain or something. Alternatively, she could just make it like not want to eat her and it would just go away. She could probably put it to sleep. There is an argument that she could mind control it. So
and can't she go back in time too? So it's like
she's weird. She is a strange moveset. Like in terms of like raw power, like she is like no raw power. In terms of like Pat's ability, she's like completely off the walls.
So like, do we bend the rules a little bit since she's technically?
So yes,
not
I would say that she. Yes, I'm okay with bending. This is the situation where I said like the Genshin character must kill them, except for a few situations. This is like key situation.
So then, in this case, it's really just the meteor all over again.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, because yeah, no, like literally, T-Rex stands no chance.
All right, Radish. You know, Layla, she gets eaten instantly. Like she has a shield, but lore wise, she has a very sick and frail body. She needs two hands to like swing her sword. She's that weak. So unfortunately, I really like her as a character. She dies immediately.
And she wouldn't even wake up before getting eaten.
Yeah. Wanderer or Scaramouche. He is an Animo catalyst. He can fly. He was a harbinger, so he's lore wise at least on the level of Child or Tartaglia that we have here. However, he is likely stronger, or at least probably like canonically stronger. So just by that alone, and coupled with the fact that he can just fly, I would put him in mostly UZ victory.
Right.
Okay.
Faruzan, she's like a, I think she's like a scholar. I think it doesn't really matter because I think she gets eaten instantly. So yeah, she's a professor. She's smart. That doesn't really stop her from getting eaten. So unfortunately, Alhytham he's like, I would say he's on the same level as Candace, a little below Sino. He's like he's a Denro sword. His whole deal is doing spread DPS, which is mostly like Dendro focused. So in theory, he could like do a lot of like plant damage, quote unquote. I don't think it's enough though, so I would put him in. Yao Yao is a child. She's a Dendro polearm. Yeah, I think we don't need to talk about that. Dea, I know you like her.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Okay, so from what I remember, she's from the desert, actually.
Yes, she's from Sumeru.
She grew up fighting amongst like thieves and monsters, and she's like a warrior, and she uses a
Yes.
claymore.
Yeah.
And she's really good with fire abilities. More so AoE than direct application like Diluc. But she seems to be like very decently agile. Probably a little bit less agile than Diluc, but I think she might actually be like better with actual like damage slashes than Diluc. So like I kind of feel like she's in the same tier as him.
She could probably start the same strategy, just run in and start slashing,
Yeah. I kind of feel like she's just the same, slightly different like element application, but like she's just slightly, basically the same person. Maybe a little bit less stealthy, but I also feel like she like just based off her mentality and the way that she fights, she also punches while she uses her sword. I kind of feel like she would do some stupid shit like slice off the fucking try to slice off the damn T-Rex's tail and then like pick it up and swing it by its tail. She just fights like a fucking brute. So I don't know. It's really iffy for me. It
So what's
depends on if
crazy
like
is that T.rex can also like be completely fine without a tail. So
yeah.
that is also something. I would put her in, could go either way because again, he's kind of like Luke, slightly different.
Yeah, I think the main issue with me for her is the fact that she applies like with Diluc, it's more efficient because yeah, he's agile, he's really good with his sword, he's fast, right? and like, but he also applies his elemental shit to his claymore. With her, it's more so like an AOE thing, and
Yeah.
like explosions and shit like that. So it's like, I don't know.
I'll put her here. Okay. Mika. He is a Cryopolar. He's a Knight of Favonius. Like he yeah, he goes and either gets eaten instantly or minimal change.
I like how
because
you, with all his
not
titles,
very
you
many
say-
people like him. He's kind of just some fella, you know.
He doesn't look very intimidating.
I'll just put him in here. Okay. Beidou. He's a healer. He's a Dendro Catalyst. He's a healer both literally, because that's his occupation. He's a doctor and a healer like in game. His kit is centered around healing.
Right. He doesn't have. Does he have any like strength feats or like lore?
No. If anything,
Yeah,
he has
so-
things that are working against him because he's like cursed to die.
Okay. That's something.
So, unfortunately, I feel like he gets eaten instantly.
Oh.
Kave. Kave is weird. He's a Dendro Claymore. What's funny is that he uses a mechanical suitcase to swing the Claymore around.
What?
It's funny how like you always hear Var's reactions, but they're so fucking quiet.
I don't know what that means.
Because all I
Why
heard
do you
was
have a suitcase?
Yeah, okay, so the way it works is he has his he carries around a suitcase, and I think the suitcase has like an AI inside of it, and he basically just directs the suitcase to like use the claymore. That makes sense. Physically he is very weak because when he does the plunging attack from like a great distance, he actually does use his hands. However, in the animation, you can see him like shaking his hand out in like because it hurts him whenever he like physically uses the claymore.
Yeah, so he gets packed up.
So, unironically, I would actually put him in minimal chance because of his like AI suitcase buddy. He can probably keep the T.rex away for at least a little bit before he gets eaten, but not by a very long. Yeah. So yeah. Kirara. She's a cat girl. She can turn into a box, climb up walls. I would put her in minimal chance as the same because of the same like line of reasoning as Diona. Because like cat, she's agile enough to not get eaten immediately. She has a shield too, so I believe she's a Dendro sword. Yeah, I'll put her in minimal chance. Okay. Lini. Lini he's a pyro bow. So he has his burst is he basically becomes like this big like cat in like a magical hat because he's a magician and he like pops around and like causes explosions and stuff.
I don't know how much that would work, but it sounds cool.
It is pretty cool because he's a magician. It's he puts on a show, as they say. And I would also say he puts up a good fight just based on that. He do as well as like Amber and Yoimi in this tier. Lynette, on the other hand, she has that cat thing going for her, but like outside of that, like I don't know. So I would also put her in minimal chance. Same with Fremenade. He's a cryo claymore. Actually, let me see. Okay, so his kit works by basically just making like cryo explosions every time he swings his claymore. I feel like he do around as well, like Chongyun or something. So I put it there. Okay. All right. Noelle. So, what is the T-Rex doing when he gets hit with the power of a tsunami, pressurized into a giant beam of water?
I feel like I genuinely feel like Nouvellette gets pissed that he even has to fight the T-Rex and just like Kamehameha blasts him across the continent. And
That
then the
is
fucking
basically
T-Rex
what would happen. Yeah.
dies of fall damage. Like, or he goes into his dragon form and then he just fights the T-Rex and the T-Rex dies. I mean, like it's one of the two.
Pick either way, no matter what. Lore gameplay, like he just blows the T-Rex into like Risley. So okay, here's my thing. He is a cryochemist. He also plunges and does stuff like that. The thing is, his burst is completely insane. Like he does a gigantic like explosion of like icicles and stuff. Like that in of itself, I feel like could immediately like one shot the T-Rex. So if he opens up with the burst, he wins. If he is stupid and tries to like fist fight the T-Rex, he dies. And I think he's smart enough to open with his burst and just blow the T-Rex up with like a giant like icicle explosion.
So what are you saying? Most likely to win?
Yes, I would say he's more likely to win. Serena gets okay. She has her like little minions that she can summon to do stuff. I don't think that's doing much. I think the T-Rex is ignoring them and eats her. That and or she gets really scared of the T-Rex, like screams and like doesn't do anything while the T-Rex just bears down on her. So yeah.
Which is weird because she's supposed to be strong, but like
She is a fraud.
yeah.
Charlotte, she is a crowd catalyst. She's a photographer and like a news like writer stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Navia. So here's the thing with Navia. I feel like she legitimately can win because her umbrella is actually a cannon. And if the T-Rex like opens its mouth to try and bite her, if she's quick enough and just blast the T-Rex like in the mouth with her cannon umbrella, she wins. Her burst also is like a giant like volley of cannon fire. I would put her in, could go either way based off that, I would think, personally. If she's not quick enough with it, she just gets eaten though. So, yeah.
I mean, the fact that she has a fucking shotgun, that's enough for me. I mean,
Yep. Her umbrella just, yeah. Chevrolet. She has a gun. She can shoot the T-Rex. I don't think she would do all that well though. The problem because she has to like aim and shoot, and I feel like the T-Rex could just eat her before anything. She's a pyro polearm.
Well, how does her gun compare to the umbrella cannon?
It's like a rifle
what type of
Is it
rifle though?
not
or like a musket.
Okay, so then is it like a small, like game type rifle, or is it like a big game rifle?
Let me check. If you guys want to look at her gun as well.
Yeah. Okay. What's her name?
Chevrolet.
Chevrolet.
CH EVREUSC.
Can't see her gun, but I can.
She has a musket, not a rifle.
Okay, so it's a one shot, and then she has to reload it, and then there was one shot, and then she has to reload it.
Yes.
Yikes. How fast is she at reloading it?
I believe there is a like a very long cooldown on her skill when she shoots the gun, which is pretty unfortunate.
Okay, and let me clarify. Is it a musket or is it a blunderbuss?
It is a musket.
Yikes. It also really depends on what she's shooting out of the musket. This is where it gets like super technical because
Looks like her burst is an explosive grenade that she shoots out of the musket.
That is also true.
So, like, if she has one shot basically before she gets eaten, but if that hits just the right place, then maybe she can do something.
great.
That is a
Yeah.
very big maybe. Yeah.
So how like is it like a grenade size explosion or is it like a
It just says explosive grenade dealing AoE pyro damage.
yeah, because I mean a grenade like IRL a grenade is a grenade can topple a whole fucking building realistically. So it's like
Yeah, it
It
is
changes
very
into
questionable.
split into secondary explosive shells. So, like, if it goes in the T-Rex mouth and it explodes,
I
and
would
then
agree
has all those
if it goes into
secondary explosions.
so would you
It
guys
also
say could go either way?
make that shot.
Yes, because if she can make that shot, she can win. If not, she gets eaten.
Okay.
Yeah,
She looks like another
Sounds good.
Soviet Russia soldier.
crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Xiangling, not Xinyan, Xiangling. He is a Onimo catalyst. Lore wise, she's a an adeptus, which means that she is lore wise very, very powerful. However, her kit is like she can like glide, fly, like pseudo glide and fly around.
Okay. Maybe she can escape, but can she do anything?
I'm gonna say no. I would put her in the same like area as Venti because we, put him there. So I would say she's pretty comparable.
Then yeah, probably the same thing.
Yeah.
All right, we're almost done. Gaming. Gaming. He's a pyro claymore. He can like leap really high because he does like dance stuff, I think. I don't think that's saving him because he's nowhere near like Diluc or Kaeya.
Yikes. Minimal chance then, or maybe puts up a good fight just because he has a claymore.
Yeah, I could see an argument for both. I would put him in minimal chance. Chioli. She is a fashion designer. Geo Sword.
She sounds like someone who gets eaten.
Yeah.
I would agree. I don't think she lives. Orlikino. This is the meteor all over again. Like, she just blows the T.rex up. There's not much the T.rex could do in this situation.
T-Rex exists, gets blown up. Well, he shouldn't have existed, bud.
Yeah, pretty much. He is kind of scary. He has this. He's a whole like boss fight. She like flies up into the sky and like nukes the arena. Yeah, the T-Rex is not surviving. Okay, Clorind. He is a electro sword. She's in a similar vein to Qing, where she's really fast. She has a gun though. She has like a flintlock pistol type of deal.
Interesting.
She in lore, she's very impressive because she's a Fontaine's champion duelist. Which means that she has literally never lost a one-on-one duel.
I would say
She has
could
a
go either.
perfect win record. I would also probably put her in could go either way because I think again she's like in the same vein as like Yelan. Like she can like do a good setup to land a good shot.
Right, and she's fast, and she has
She's
good
really fast.
instincts in 1v1, so it's like
Yeah, I would put her in could go either way. Yeah. Xiangling, she is getting eaten. There's nothing. She shoots bubbles. What is the T-Rex gonna do? Setho. He's an electro bow. He has this like weird stance where he locks in when he's doing like a charge shot. I feel like that just hurts him more because the T-Rex should just eat him before that happens. So yeah. I'd be okay with putting him in minimal chance though because I believe he is pretty agile and like has good like tactical thinking. Outside that though, yeah. Okay. Emily, I think Emily. I think I'm not sure. I'm still not sure how to pronounce it. It's either Emily, something like that. She is a perfume designer. I wonder how that goes. Okay. Mulan.
unless there's some lore I don't know about, I would say minimal chance.
I would put her in minimal chance too. She has good like mobility because she's pretty agile. She has that like shark surfboard type of thing she can like
Right.
zoom around with. Outside of that, he's getting eaten. He doesn't have a chance. So, Kachina. I would also put her in minimal chance because her like drill like little vehicle thing can allow her to run away at least a little bit. Ever when that goes on cooldown. Yeah. Kinnich. He's like Spider-Man. He's like he can like shoot like things and like swing and stuff. Don't think he's doing that great though because he just doesn't have like the killing power needed to bring down the T.rex. He has good mobility. He's pretty agile. He is good at like hunting things, I guess. Yeah, his burst is like a big dendro explosion that shoots like lasers and stuff. I would say he puts up a good fight actually. I don't think he has enough to really bring down that T.rex, but he does a lot better than the other two Batman characters so far. Xiangling, she goes in minimal chance, I think. She has good mobility, she's pretty agile. She has like roller skates that she can like climb up walls with, which is pretty cool. However, her like kit is based around shielding and stuff. She's a Geo Sword, I think. She's like arguably one of the best support characters in the game. But in like a one-on-one, yeah. Also, her kit is also based around like buffing and offering like support based on the element her teammates are on. But yeah, it's just her.
And she moved really fast with the roller skates.
She does move really fast with the roller skates, yeah. So she wouldn't get immediately
right up the T-Rex's back. Get to where it can't reach her.
Yeah. Chaska.
I
She has
kind
a
of
really big gun, like a really big gun.
is she okay?
And
Lore wise,
she rides that big gun around. Yeah. She's also an Onamo bow character, by the way.
I think her kit would make, in my eyes, makes it to where like I think she's actually perfect for this fight. But it's like it really depends on the lore of her. Like if she's not like decently strong, then it's kind of just like, you know.
She is pretty strong.
Okay, so that I would just because of her kit, I would say more
I would
likely
put her
to win.
in more likely to win because she could just fly up and shoot the T.rex.
Yeah,
So
you kind of make.
she has a pretty good counter. So yeah. Oraron, on the other hand, goes in minimal chance most likely because he can like fly like straight up for a nice little bit. It's not like Chaska though, so he's getting eaten once he comes down.
The meteor.
She is either the meteorologist or obliterates without question. She has a pyro archon. She is very strong. She went toe to toe with the harbinger. She is kinda cracked.
I mean, this is what I see happening. She pulls out her motorcycle, puts the back tire on fire, literally drives an entire circle, setting the entire forest on fire, and then watching it burn. And then once it charges at her, she just nukes the whole fucking playing field. So it's like,
yeah, that's about how it would go, honestly.
It's like I just don't see the T-Rex being able to do much.
Me neither. Okay. Lolly, she is weird because I believe she's a support character in terms of her hit. She's like a magic user type of like mystical power and stuff.
So she doesn't actually have an element.
She's a cryo catalyst, I think.
I see.
I don't know. She's weird. She can like do like big explosions, cryo explosions, shield herself, and like summon like spinning icicles and stuff. I would put her in puts up a good fight. I want to think about it. Lanyan or Lanya. She is yeah. She's like she's not surviving. I don't really know that much about her, but yeah, I'm checking. Okay. Mizuki. She can like glide, fly type of thing. I don't think that would allow her to survive though. So, Marissa. She can run
Okay,
really fast.
I could be wrong, but wasn't she the character who we found out put us in a whole entire dream state?
That was
Like
not
she was.
Huda.
Okay, so then wait. See, I could have sworn it was her. Like, didn't we catch her and they were like, "Wait, you're the person who was dreaming this entire time, and you're the reason why we're stuck in this dream"?
I don't think so. No, I can't recall anything like that when it comes to Marissa.
Okay, so yeah, I might have been thinking of Nahida.
Yeah, but yeah, Marissa, she can run really fast. She can like do like a ground pound, like on the T.rex. I don't think that would do all that much though. So yeah.
Minimal. Okay.
Our Iron Son, he is she's like a what you call it? She's a fitness instructor. She's pretty fast, at least. An electro pole arm, can run fast. She can like cause explosions. I would put her in minimal chance because he does better than pretty much everyone else up here. Okay. Scoofy, she's a chef. She's like Gordon Ramsay.
She's cooked.
Yeah,
Literally.
she's quite literally cooked. Yeah. Well, I don't recall there anything being any like crazy stuff in her kit. Yeah, no, she absolutely gets eaten. Never mind. Okay. Aoife.
I want to say puts up a good fight just because he battles against like smaller like dinosaurs and
Sort of, yeah,
but
in that way.
also the fact that like he has guns, but then he's also not shooting bullets. He's shooting animo magic
Damage,
out.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's like I would say minimal chance, honestly. I don't really see much for him based off of his kit, unless there's some
Can't
lore
he
for
like
him that's
fly
stronger.
with his
Yeah,
little?
he has like a little
Yeah,
yeah.
he can fly. Well, not him, he can fly, but his like little buddy carries him around.
So
I'm
if he
between
could
minimal chance
stay,
and puts up a good fight.
okay.
I would say he puts up a good fight just based off his like experience. Like he has experience like wrangling like lesser like Saurians and stuff. But he could not kill the T-Rex. Okay, just a few more. Skirk. Skirk is weird. She is like this weird interdimensional person. She is extremely powerful, like lore-wise.
Hmm.
And if you want to look at her like her kit, she basically just causes massive like icicle explosions and like stuff like that. She's also extremely fast. She's not easy to like knock around. She's stronger than Tartaglia, definitively.
Hmm. So where would you put her?
She has this like weird like void power as well. I feel like that's above the pay grade of the T.rex. She can like do crazy stuff. She can like create force fields. And like apparently she has telekinesis as well. I'm going to put her in obliterate without question. Oh, goodness. Okay. Because the more I think about it, the more I don't think the T-Rex has that much of a chance because of the crazy stuff he just has in her hip. So yeah. All right. Dahlia. He dies. He gets eaten very quickly. Because he is he's a deacon in the Church of Livonia. Yeah, okay. Ineffa, she's okay. So Ineffa's weird. She's like a robot maid with like a combat mode that she can enter into. So because she's a robot, I would argue she's less susceptible to getting like bitten in half.
I see. Does she have any crazy feats though? Or like lore?
She can like detach her like an arm and like combine it with something else to like create like a giant like explosion. She's a electro-pole arm, by the way. So I would put her in puts up a good fight. I don't think she could kill the T-Rex. You could definitely hurt it. Not really kill it though. Okay. Four more. Lauma.
Wasn't she supposed to be strong? But like, she's also isn't she Dendro?
Yes, she's a Dendro catalyst.
Can't she like turn into a deer and move really fast?
Yes, she can. She can turn into like this deer humanoid and like hop around, you know? She can like talk to animals. So that's something. She could maybe like try and like tell the T-Rex like, hey, you wanna stop? This is like another example with like Nahida where she can like just stop the T-Rex from doing stuff. The question is, would she actually be able to talk with the T-Rex? Because we don't know like the full like what's the word? Limitations for power to talk with animals and stuff. So it's really strange. I don't know what to say. I'll put her in could go either way because her kid is her like lore power is so strange that you need to like consider like a lot. Like, can she tell the T-Rex to like go away? You know, if she can't, then she dies. But like, if she can, she like who knows? So
Seems like it's hard to predict what she would actually do in a fight.
yeah, it's difficult to figure out how it would mesh together. Yeah. Okay. I know. She's a kid. She yeah, sorry. Okay. Lynn's is pretty strong.
Isn't he the one who like has a lamp and like?
Yes, he has a lamp.
Yeah, I remember trying him out in the trial, and he just seemed like ridiculously strong.
He has
Maybe
this
not
like
Archon
his
strong,
burst.
but close to it.
Yeah, his burst has the like enormous like explosions of lightning and stuff. His skill where he basically just jumps up into the air and like brings it down in like a thunderous like explosion of electro. Pretty strong. I think like lore wise, he also has like other like powers that make him similarly strong because he's not a human. He's like a spirit type of thing.
I think he would win.
I
I
think
don't
he
know
would
much
win
about
as
him,
well.
but I think he would.
Yeah, just based off like lore powers and stuff, I would put him in here. All right. One more, last one. Lock in. Nefer. Nefer is weird. She's kind of like Yolon. She's smart, she's agile, she's a dendro catalyst. Yeah. She's actually so similar to Yon that there's a meme in the community that Yon was dunked in a coat of green paint and Nefer came out.
Yeah.
So she's really smart. I don't know if her kit is strong, really that strong enough to really bring the T-Rex down, though. I will put her in. Let's have a good fight. I don't think she can win. I think she has a lot going for her. She's smart, she's agile, she could probably strategize a lot, figure out a way to, do chip damage, but outside of that, I don't think she's gonna win. Alright. We have our tier list here. Did anything stand out to you, too? Everything look fine?
Um, I want to bump Hu Tao and maybe Ganyu and some of them up, just because, like, in game they're able to do a lot of damage. It's just that how much damage could they do before they just get chomped? That's the thing.
Yeah, that is. I think you
Yeah, I feel like
have any opinion?
Hu Tao should. Yeah, I would say.
You want to bump Hu Tao up to
Not
what's it
not just
up?
because she's my waifu, but like she's regarded as like a good damage dealer by a lot of people.
That is true. I'd be okay with bumping her up, dear. Do you have any opinions on anyone else?
Uh,
I don't know.
I I kind of feel like Mona should be in puts up a good fight just because of how, I don't know. I could be wrong on that one, but that, and then I feel like part of me thinks that Diluc should be moved up one to mostly easy victory, and then and the Traveler should be moved back one.
That puts up a good fight.
Yeah.
I see. Or what do you think of these proposed changes?
That sounds reasonable, but I'm also okay with where they are.
Yeah, I'm just overlooking everything to make sure.
Honestly, a decent spread. I expected more of them to just be at the bottom tiers.
It is actually a pretty good spread, yeah.
It's quite a variety.
We got our top tiers, got our mid tiers, and our low tiers, I guess, I am okay with moving Mona up a tier, and I think that's about it. Yeah, everything seems fine, I think. All right. Do we have anything else to say, or is that it?
I think it looks solid.
Yeah. And it's a
Right.
lot of
Well,
characters.
Yeah. It's over 100 characters. Like, in this video is like 3 hours long at this point. Okay.
Amazing.
Well, yeah, that makes it really nice. All right. Well, that's the video. The names here. If you have any disagreements, please feel free to leave them in the comments, and I will tell you why you are wrong. No, I'm just kidding. If you like what you see, feel free to drop a like and subscribe to my channel. I will probably do more stuff like this in the future. So if you like this kind of content, please stick around. That'd be really nice. All right, that's it.